So hello friend, this is Kaustu Pathare again with a new video. Welcome to our channel Making Maths Easy. Today in this video we are going to solve some important problems in the derivatives. Let's get started. Starting with the derivatives. So this is the first problem. If y is equal to 5x cube minus 4x square minus 8x raised to 9, then find dy by dx, means find the derivative of y with respect to x. So let's start. First of all, write this here. Now the main thing which property we have to use. I have given you some properties in the previous lecture or previous video tutorial. In that property we have the first formula as find the derivative of x raised to n. So the derivative of x raised to n is equal to d by dx of x raised to n, x raised to n equal to n into x raised to n minus 1. So n into x raised to n minus 1. So this formula we are going to use in this case. So we use this formula. So what will be dy by dx? The dy by dx will be the derivative of the particular function. So it can be represented as dy divided by d of x, which equal to n. What is the value of n? Here n is equal to 9. So 9 into this particular function raised to 9 minus 1. So this function raised to 9 minus 1 can be written as 9 minus 1. Now let's move to the further. Now but one thing we have to keep in the mind, we have to go into the I have told you in the previous video that whenever we solve the derivatives we have to go into the loop in order to find the derivative of that particular function. So this video is also generalized as let's say I am taking a value such that f of x as a function. So find the derivative of function of f of x. So in this case I will use for finding the derivative of function of f of x. So it will be f of x is equal to f of x raised to n is equal to n into x raised to n minus 1, which will be equal to n into f of x raised to n minus 1 into f dash of x. So what is my f dash of x? F dash of x will be my derivative. F dash of x is always equal to the derivative, which is a loop derivative, or we can say if you I have told you in the previous video I have to find a derivative of any function. So let's say sine 3x. So what is the derivative of sine 3x? It is easy, it's cos 3x. So again we have to find a value of the theta, means the 3x, means you have to go into the loop depth and depth in order to find a derivative one after the other. So I have found the derivative of this function, this power function. Now after the power function I will go inside this and find the derivative of 5x cube minus 4x square minus 8x. So I will write here as dy by dx of d upon d of x of this. So now it looks very easy. Now we will solve further. So dy by dx will be equal to 9, right as it is, 9 into 5x cube minus 4x square minus 8x raised to 8 into the dy by dx of this. So let's come to the problem. So derivative of x cube with respect to x is equal to 3x square. So we will write, I'm not wasting the time, I am writing it directly. So it is 3x square. You can do it one by one. 3x square. Now the derivative of x square is equal to 2x, we know that. So 4 multiplied by 2x, it will be, so 4 into 2x minus derivative of x. Derivative of x is equal to 1, as we knew. I have told you in the previous video. derivative of constant is 0 and derivative of x is equal to 1. So my answer will be dy by dx will be equal to my dy by dx will be equal to dy by dx will be equal to this function means 9 into 5x cube minus 4x square minus 8x raised to 8 into 15x square 15x square minus 8x minus 8. So the dy by dx or the derivative of the given function I have solved. So this is the simplest problem, but this kind of problem will not occur in the exam. This is just for the sake of convenience in order to understand how to find the derivative of the simple terms. So let's move to the. So these are some of the problems which we have to solve. We have to differentiate with respect to x. So let's take the first problem first. So first problem we are going to solve now, and we have to differentiate it with respect to x. So the first problem is square root of x plus 1 by x. Square root of x plus 1 by x. So we can write it as the dy by dx of this function equal to dy by dx of this function equal to dy by dx of this function is equal to d upon d of x of this function. So d and this function upon dx, which equal to, first of all we have to rearrange it in the form of the power. So take the power as a first. So we can write the function as d upon d of x of dx of this particular function. So the function is x plus 1 by x and the power of this function is square root, so it is 1 by 2. Always remember one thing, when there is a root, use 1 by 2 as a power. So 1 divided by 2 will be the power of this function. So now use the formula n into x raised to n minus 1 as I use in the last sum or the previous sum. So here the value of n is equal to 1 by 2. So write uh, the value of n, 1 divided by 2 into x raised to n minus 1. So it will be x plus 1 by x 1 by x raised to n minus 1 raised to n minus 1. So the n minus 1 will be half minus 1, means 1 by 2 minus 1. And again we have to take the derivative of a function. So write d by d of x. So d by d of x of x plus 1 by x. So write it as d by d of x of x plus 1 by x, 1 divided by x, and carry out the derivative or remove the derivative of this function. So we will solve further. Which is equal to 1 by 2, write 1 by 2 into x plus 1 by x raised to half minus 1, which gives me x plus 1 by x raised to minus 1 by 2 into this. So multiply by, so it will be multiply by the derivative of this function. So the derivative of x is equal to 1, so I will write 1, and derivative of 1 by x, it is equal to I told you in the previous video that derivative of 1 by x is equal to minus 1 upon x square. So I will write it as uh, plus minus 1 upon x square minus 1 upon x square. Always remember two, three things, that derivative of x is equal to uh, 1, derivative of x square is equal to 2x, derivative of x cube is equal to 3x square, derivative of x raised to 4 is equal to 4x cube. So remember the one thing, that whenever you carry out the derivative, use the formula x raised to, for x raised to n is equal to n into x raised to n minus 1. And whenever you carry out the derivative of such functions, first remember that make sure that your power of the particular function, let's say x, let's say y, something else, today we are differentiating it with respect to x, so we are using x, so let's consider x. So if the derivative of any function, let's say x, so we have to bring it in a form that it should show some kind of a power. So if it is 1 by 2, we have to write if it is root, we have to write 1 by 2. If it is minus 1 by 2, then it will go in the denominator. So if it is in denominator, it will go in the numerator and become minus 1 by 2. So in this case, it is minus and always remember one thing, that derivative of 1 by x is equal to minus 1 upon x square. So this four five things we have to understand, while solving the problems related to differentiation. So which equal to 1 by 2, right again 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 into the 1 plus 1 by 2 raised to minus 1 by 2. So it is minus 1 by 2. So it will go in the denominator. So it will be put a bracket, x plus 1 by x raised to x plus 1 by x raised to the value of minus 1 by 1 by 2, 1 by 2, not minus 1 by 2. If it goes in the denominator, it will become plus. So into put a bracket into 1 minus 1 upon 1 divided by x square, 1 divided by x square. You can keep it as it is, or you can solve further for the answer. We will solve further. So the value I will get here, it is 1 divided by 2 into, so this is 1 by x. So x into x gives me x square. So I will write here it as x square plus 1 by x, not 1 by x, x square plus 1 raised to 1 by 2, 1 by 2, and this x will go in the numerator, which will be square root of x. So it will be 1 into square root of x to square root of x, and on solving this I will get the answer as 1 minus 1 by x square. So I will get x square minus 1 in the numerator. So in the numerator I will get x square minus 1 divided by x square, divided by x square. So we can cancel the value of x, we can cancel one value of x. So my final answer will be consider this, final answer will be, consider this, only this in the numerator, and this square root of x will be get cancelled with x raised to 2. So it will be this, and cancelling this 2 means square root of x, square root of x upon x raised to 2 I will get as in the power, I can write it as x raised to 2 minus half. So because it is square root, I will write this will go in the denominator, and it will become 2 minus half according to the law of indices. So it will be, my answer will be equal to x raised to 3 by 2. So this is my answer. So 2 minus half gives me 3 by 2. 3 by 2. So this is my final answer. So now let's move to the another sum. Let's take another sum. The second sum is 1 upon square root of this. So I will rub this all. So my second sum is this. So let consider y is equal to, let us say y equal to this. Now it is also easy for solving. So dy by dx will be equal to dy by dx will be my derivative of the function. So dy by dx become equal to dy by dx of this function minus dy by dx of this function. So d upon d of x of this function minus dy by dx of this function. So remember one thing, always look at the powers while solving. Note that derivative always run on the power, because a power of any function is expressed as n. So our formula comes into the consideration, comes into the picture, that x raised to n, so it is equal to n into x raised to n minus 1. So in this case also we will consider the power. So first of all we have d upon d of x, so which of square root of 3x plus 7. So in this case the power of this particular function will be equal to 1 divided by this particular function, and the power of this function will be equal to, I will put a bracket in order to understand. So the power of this will be 1 divided by 2 in this case, and also the power of this will be 1 divided by 2. Whenever there is a square root, put 1 divided by 2 as a power. Whenever there is a cube root, put 1 divided by 3 as a power. Whenever there is a fourth root, put 1 by 4 as a power. This all the things you have to consider in this case. So now it is also 1 divided by power of this function. So 1 divided by power of 7 minus 3x, which is equal to power is 1 by 2 again. So now we will solve it. Now it is expressed in a simple form. Now one thing you have to do, we have to bring it in the denominator. So for bringing it in the denominator, if a power is in the bring it in the numerator, if a power is in the denominator whose value is positive, so it is 1 by 2 is a positive. So if it will go in the numerator, a particular value, it will go in the numerator, so it will become negative in such cases. So if I will bring this 3x plus 7 in the numerator, so it will become positive. See, it will become negative. So the 3x plus 7 raised to 1 by 2, and the power of this function will be equal to minus 1 divided by 2, and I will close the bracket, and it will be divided by 1. So now again the power of this particular function will be equal to 7. It will also be same. So the power will be equal to 7 minus 3x raised to minus 1 by 2. So power will be minus 1 by 2 divided by 1. Now solve further. Now we know the formula of x raised to n, and the derivative of x raised to n is equal to n into x raised to n minus 1. So we will use that formula in order to simplify the sum. So take dy by d of x is equal to d upon d of x of this particular function. So no need to put d by d of x because we are differentiating. So we will put the formula. We will solve the sum. So it will be minus 1 divided by 2 into the derivative of this function. So it will be minus 1 divided by 2 into the derivative of this particular function raised to minus 1 by 2 minus 1. So n into x raised to n minus 1, which will be equal to minus 1 by 2 minus 1, which is equal to n minus 1, and minus again same thing we have to do. uh, it will be minus 1 by 2, and then 7 minus 3x 7 minus 3x raised to the power of my half minus half minus 1. So minus 1 by 2 minus 1, okay, which is equal to minus 1 by 2 we can take as common. Minus 1 by 2 taking as a common, and taking a square bracket. And again we have forgotten one thing here over here, that to find the dy by dx of this looping a derivative or going inside the derivative, as I told you in the previous video. So in order to carry out the derivative of this particular function, we have to do one thing. uh, we have to go it inside and carry the derivative of this function, because now it looks better, or now it is completed. So again we will have d upon d of x of this particular function, and 7 minus 3x and derivative of this. Now we will take a bracket and we will solve it. So minus 1, so 3x plus 7 raised to minus half, or 1 by 2 minus 1, which is equal to 3x plus 7 raised to minus 1 by 2 minus 1 gives me minus 3 by 2. So I will write it as the power will be equal to minus 3 divided by 2 in this case, and the derivative of 3x plus 7 will be equal to, derivative of 3x is equal to 3, as derivative of x is equal to 1, and we take the constant as outside, and derivative of a constant number 7 equal to 0. Always remember derivative of a constant is equal to 0. So I will take the 3 over here. Now use this sign and simplify this particular expression. So same thing we have to do, that the derivative of 7 minus 3x will be equal to, here it is minus, derivative of 7 will be equal to 0, and minus 3x will be equal to minus 3. So in this case I have taken minus 1 by 2 as a common at outside. So I will put a bracket, and raised to, it will be raised to 3 by 2. Again it will be raised to minus 3 by 2, because minus 1 by 2 plus 1 gives me 3 by 2. And then I will put a derivative of 7 minus 3x, which will be equal to minus 3 as derivative of, and I will close the bracket, because derivative of a constant number 7 is equal to 0, whereas the derivative of minus 3x is equal to minus 3. So now we have got the answer as we can take 3 as a common. So we will take 3 as a common. So after taking 3 as a common, we will get minus 3 divided by 2, and put a square bracket and write 3x plus 7 raised to 3 by 2 raised to minus 3 by 2, and minus minus, there are two minus sign. Here it is minus sign, and also here it is minus sign. So minus minus become equal to plus, and here it will be 7 minus 3x raised to minus 3 by 2. raised to minus 3 by 2. So this will be my complete answer. So let's start with the next sum. So this is our last sum. So we are going to solve it. Here it is. Last sum is square root of a square plus square root of inside the square root of a square plus x square, means the square root of a square plus inner square root of means the root inside a root. There are two roots, one inside the other. So we will solve it. So first of all, uh, we know the main or a common thing. So whenever there is a root, I told you in the previous videos, whenever there is a root, the power can be expressed in the form of fraction as 1 by 2. So first of all, write the let us say, or let us consider as y equal to uh, the given expression. So y equal to the given expression. So the my dy by dx will be dy by dx uh, will be d upon d into the expression upon dy. So it will be d upon expression into the dy. So my dy by dx will be d upon d of x into this expression. So it will be this. Now we will solve it. So first of all, take the square root as a power. So it will be 1 by 2. So after taking square root as a power, we will get as dy by dx equal to d upon d of x into this function, and the power of this function is equal to 1 by 2. So this function raised to 1 by 2, 1 divided by 2 in this case. So now we will solve it. So d upon d of x will be equal to, or say dy by dx equal to d upon d of x equal to this particular function. So we know that whenever there is such kind of function, we use a general formula. I told you in the previous video that this formula will be mostly used in the most of the complicated sums, and this formula is most used in all sums. So that is derivative of x raised to n, which is equal to n into x raised to n minus 1. So we will use here the same formula. So here the value of n is equal to minus 1 by 2. So it will be 1 by 2 1 by 2 into this particular function raised to 1 by 2 minus 1. So it will be 1 by 2 into this particular function raised to 1 by 2 minus 1. But till now it is not over. So we will take a loop derivative. I told you in the previous video what is the loop derivative. If I am having a sine 3x, so the derivative will be cos 3x into the derivative of 3x. So it will be my loop derivative. First I will take the derivative of the power, which is square root. Then I will take the derivative of this expression a square plus square root of a square plus x square, and then I will multiply or take the derivative. After taking derivative of this function, I will take the derivative of the remaining this function as this a square plus x square. So let's start. So first this expression multiply by d upon d of x of this particular expression, or the derivative of this particular expression. So I can write it as d upon d of x of this particular function. Now finally we will write the answer, not finally we will write the answer, but we will solve it step by step. So this will be equal to this. So instead of 1 by 2 minus 1, we can write it as minus 1 by 2. So because half minus 1 gives me minus 1 by 2, because 1 by 2 minus 1 gives me minus 1 by 2. So I will write it as, so now derivative of a square is equal to 0. As I know, as I told you that derivative of any constant number is equal to 0, whereas the derivative of square root of a square plus x square will be again, it is a power function. So I can also write it as this. I can also write it as a square plus x square raised to 1 by 2. So a square a square a square plus x square x square raised to 1 by 2 raised to 1 divided by 2, because it is a power function. So wherever there is a power, so take wherever there is a square root, take the power as 1 by 2. So now we will remove the derivative of this, taking the power as 1 by 2. So my dy by dx of this function will be equal to, here I am taking as a derivative of the function, so my dy by dx will be equal to uh, a square plus x square, means 1 by 2 means n into x raised to n minus 1, which will be equal to a square a square plus x square raised to 1 by 2 minus 1. So raised to 1 by 2 minus 1, which is equal to minus 1 by 2. And again I will do one thing. If I have taken the if I have taken the derivative of this all this complete function, so something is left over here. So I will take the derivative of this. Also, I will take the derivative of this. No need to take the derivative of this, because derivative of this number gives me equal to 0. So I will consider only the derivative of this number, a square plus x square. So I will write here as d upon d of x, or dy by dx of d upon d of x of a square plus x square, which is equal to a square plus x square. So in the next formula, in the next step, I will write this completely, uh, and instead of minus 1 by 2 minus 1, I will write it as minus 1 by 2, and this 0 will has no value, so I will cancel it, and also I will cut this. Also I will remove the bracket over here, and then the derivative of a square is equal to 0, so no need to write, and derivative of 2 x square is equal to 2x, so I will write 2x. So this will be my final answer. We also need to simplify this answer. So for simplifying this answer, it will be 1 by 4, 1 divided by 4, and here it is minus 1 by 2, means a square negative root, so it will go in the denominator. So this will become, in the denominator it will be this. So in the denominator it will be this, and this will also go in the denominator. So in the denominator it will be this. So this, and 2x will come in the numerator, 2x. So here it is 4x, here it is 2x, we can cancel 1 2. So here it will become 2, and here it will become x. So it will, the final answer is x upon 2 into the under root of a square plus under root of a square plus x square multiply by square root of a square plus x square in this case. So these are the three sums which we have solved today. So if you like my video, please share, subscribe and comment on my YouTube channel, Making Maths Easy. Thank you for watching.